Welcome to the ninth part of thermal properties of matter. In this part, you will learn about thermal conduction. Molecular mechanism of thermal conduction. Solids are heated through conduction. When one end of metal rod is heated, the molecules at the hot end vibrate with greater amplitude, and so they have greater average kinetic energy. As these molecules collide with the neighboring molecules of lesser kinetic energy, the energy is shared between the two. The kinetic energy of neighboring molecules increases, and this energy transfer takes place from one layer to next one without the molecules leaving their average location. This way, heat is passed to the colder end of the rod. Thermal conduction is a process in which heat is transmitted from one part of a body to another at a lower temperature through molecular collisions without any actual flow of matter. During the heat conduction process, heat energy is transferred only to the successive molecules. In this process, molecules do not leave their mean position at all. So, in conduction particles of the medium transfers heat without leaving the mean positions. When one end of a metal bar is heated, molecules at this end begin to vibrate faster and faster. These molecules at the hot end have a greater kinetic energy of vibration in comparison to the molecules that are not directly under heat exposure. These faster moving molecules collide with their neighboring molecules. As shown in the figure, you can see how heat is being transferred at the molecular level through the vibrations of molecules at the heated end to the cooler end. During the collision, they transfer some of their energy to the neighboring molecules, and this way faster moving or vibrating molecules transmit the heat energy to the neighboring molecules. Thus, the energy is transferred by molecular collision from hot end to the cold end of the object. The transfer of heat continues until two ends of the object are at same temperature. And this way, energy of thermal motion is passed along from one molecule to the next, keeping their mean positions fixed. Solid substances which conduct heat easily are called good conductors of heat. For example, silver, copper, etc. All metals are good conductors of heat. And those substances which do not conduct heat easily are called bad conductors of heat. For example, wood, cloth, air, paper, etc. Heat conduction doesn't take place in liquids and solids because molecules of both gases and liquids move randomly or in a specific direction. Here are some everyday conduction examples. In winter, metallic handle appears to be colder than the wooden door. Because metallic handle is a good conductor of heat and heat flows from our body to handle, so it feels cold. The cooking utensils are provided with wooden handles, again because wooden handle do not allow conduction of heat from hot utensils to hand. A new quilt is warmer than old quilt because new quilt contains more air in its pores as compared to the old quilt. A refrigerator is provided with insulated walls to minimize the chance of heat flowing into refrigerator from outside. Here are some terms related to the conduction. The first one is steady state of substance. For this, consider a solid metal bar. Heat one end of the metal bar, and this way one end of the rod is at higher temperature and the other end is at lower temperature. And from the discussion about the transfer of heat by conduction, you know that the heat energy is transferred only to the successive molecules. Let us divide the solid metal bar into various segments as shown in the following diagram. Here, if the metal bar is not insulated, heat is lost to the atmosphere by convection and radiation. And this can be prevented by placing some non-conducting material around the bar. If we start providing heat to the bar at the end P, then each section of the bar gets heat from its adjacent previous section. That is, section C will get heat from B and B will get heat from A. Again consider sections A, B and C. Section B gets heat from section A. Some part of heat received is absorbed, due to which temperature of section B increases, and some of the part of heat received flows to the atmosphere, and remaining part of heat is transferred to the adjacent section C. In this state, temperature of every cross section of the bar goes on increasing with time. This is the transient or variable state of heat of conduction. But with the passage of time and continuous supply of heat, a state is reached when the temperature of each section becomes uniform. In this state, no heat is absorbed by any section of the bar. This state of the bar, when the temperature of every cross section of the bar becomes constant and no further absorption of heat in any part, is called steady state or stationary state. It is important to note here that the different sections of the metal bar have a different temperature, but the temperature of each section remains constant with the passage of time. And the temperature decreases as we move more away from the hot end. Heat lost to the atmosphere can be prevented by covering the metal bar with an insulating material. In this case, at a steady state, total heat transfer takes place by conduction from hot end of the bar to the cold end. Second one is the isothermal surface. The surface of a substance whose all particles or molecules are at the same temperature. The following figure shows two isothermal surfaces, P and Q. Here temperature of all points of surface P is same, but the temperature of surface P is not same as that of the surface Q. Third one is the temperature gradient. The rate of change of temperature with distance in the direction of flow of heat is called temperature gradient. To understand it better, consider the following figure, which shows two isothermal surfaces P and Q. Surface P is at a temperature T plus delta T and surface Q is at a temperature T. Let delta x be the normal distance between the two surfaces. Now the temperature of section P is greater than the temperature of section Q. Then the temperature gradient will be change in temperature divided by normal distance. That means T minus T plus delta T divided by delta x. So you will get minus of delta T by delta x. The temperature gradient is a positive quantity in the direction of increasing temperature. But because heat always flows from higher temperature to lower one, so the temperature gradient along the direction of heat flow will be having a negative value. The rate of heat flow. The quantity of heat transferred from an isothermal region per unit time in the direction of heat propagation is called rate of heat flow. It is denoted by capital H and is also known as heat current. So if Q amount of heat is transferred in time T, then the heat current H will be equals to Q by T. Its units are kilocalorie per second or joule per second or simply calories per second. The specific rate of heat flow. The rate of heat flow per unit area is called specific rate of heat flow. It is denoted by a small q and mathematically it will be the ratio of H by and A. And its unit will be kilocalorie per meter square per second.